I want to talk to you a little bit today about evil. And evil is a difficult enemy for us. One of the principal reasons why evil is a difficult enemy is that evil, for one thing, doesn't exist. I'm using that term existence in the strictest sense of the word. I don't mean to say that evil isn't real. Evil is very real. But evil, in the strictest sense of the term and the word, does not exist. We as Christians believe that there is but one creator, and that creator is God, and that everything that is was created by God. And if God is the only creator and everything that is was created by him, we also know that God is incapable of creating evil. For that very reason, we know that evil does not have an existence. What evil is, though, because it is very real, and we all know evil is goodness spoiled. It's goodness ruined. It's goodness that has been perverted. For instance, pornography is evil. But pornography does not stand on its own as evil, but rather it is a perversion of a good thing, which is sex. Racism is evil. But we know that racism does not stand alone. It is a perversion of a good thing, which is esteem. We know that abortion is an evil thing, but abortion is a perversion of free will, of freedom, of choice. So as you see in all these things, and you could go down the line with everything that we consider to be evil, that evil is always a spoiled goodness. It's a ruined goodness. It's a perverted goodness. And this is what makes evil such a difficult enemy for us, because you cannot defeat evil. If this is true, you cannot defeat evil today without first loving good. And as long as you're discontented with good, evil will be spreading. Do you understand that? If evil is only a perverted goodness, then it's really impossible for you to defeat evil in your life or to battle evil at all without first loving good. Because if you're discontented with goodness today, if you know goodness and it's not something you like, well, then you're going to spoil it and ruin it and pervert it. And by that way, you're actually spreading evil. Take, for instance, these are kind of crude illustrations, but they make it. Take, for instance, somebody who lives in a black and white world, where everything is black and white. And this person is discontented with black and white. They don't like just black and white. And so they fuse the two together, and they live now in a gray world. Well, suppose you dislike gray as much as you dislike black and white. Well, you're in a difficult position, aren't you, if you don't like gray, but you also don't like black and white? Because the only way to get rid of gray is to separate and do war against gray by making it black and white. But if you don't like black and white either, you're kind of stuck. Or suppose there's a girl who has red hair, beautiful red hair, and she doesn't like having red hair. And so she dyes her hair. But when she dyes her hair, it turns an awful green. And she doesn't like the green hair either. Well, that girl has a problem, because she doesn't like her hair green, but she doesn't like her hair, which is its natural color, which is red. And it's the red hair that's going to continue to grow out of her scalp. So what's she to do? If she wants to fight the green hair, she has to dye it another color. But as long as she's dyeing it other colors and not settling on red, she'll never be at peace, and she'll only be spreading evil, so to speak. You get the idea there? Therefore, there's no point to me today in any of you going out of this place endeavoring to fight evil if you're not first endeavoring to love good. And so I'm here to tell you today, if you want to fight evil, whether it be in your own life, whether it be in the life of your family or the life of your community, or in our life as a church here in this world, we have to first fall in love with good. We have to fight first our discontent. Turn me, if you would, for just a moment to Amos chapter 5. We're just going to look at, Amos explains this, I think, very well. But if you look at the book of Amos, Hosea, Joel, Amos, it's kind of hard to find. It's one of those little books in the back of the Old Testament. It's before Jonah and Obadiah. But if you look at Amos chapter 5 and verses 14 to 15, I want to read these two verses to you. Amos chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. Here's what the prophet said, speaking for God. He said, "Seek good and not evil, that you may live. And thus may the Lord God of hosts be with you, just as you have said. Hate evil, love good, and establish justice in the gate. Perhaps the Lord, the God of hosts, may be gracious to the remnant of Joseph. Do you see that there? Seek good and not evil. He says, hate evil, yes, but love good. It's not enough to hate evil today, and I hate evil just as well as the rest of the next guy. But it's never enough to just hate evil. You have to love good. Because if you don't love good, you're actually spreading evil by spoiling the goodness. Understand, first and foremost today, that Christianity, if you want to know Christianity at all, it's best to understand Christianity as a crucible. Never forget that. A crucible is a furnace. If you have impure silver, if you just have raw silver, which is like ore, and you want to make that silver pure, you have to put it into a crucible, which exposes that ore to the highest temperatures possible. And at that high temperature, that crucible will burn away all that is not silver. All the dross will be taken away. And what will be left after that is pure silver. Christianity is a crucible. It is an attempt to find within us, or to burn away from us, everything that is not the image of God. You are created in the image of God today. There is purity in you. Okay? You have the image of God planted in your life. Now, our life spent here in this place has caused us to accumulate all manner of dross, all manner of impurities, both in your heart and in your mind and in your body and in your way and in your custom and everything else. And Christianity, what it seeks to do is to fight evil by burning away all that stuff that has been added to, that has spoiled the image of God in your life. And so what I want to do by taking a look at this single verse today is to give you some tips for fighting evil, for living the